Questions 1 through 6.
Listen to a lecture in a zoology class.
Today's talk is on bird migration. During the winter, food and water become scarce and there is little plant cover to protect the birds. The way most birds survive the cold is through migration. Most birds that live in high Arctic regions, such as northern Alaska, northern Canada, and Greenland, are migratory. They stay in these regions during the summer and fly south to warmer climates in the winter. Well, now take a look at several different examples of migration. First, types of migration can be distinguished according to their distance. In some cases, migration occurs over a long distance. Some birds living in the Arctic northern hemisphere fly all the way to the tropics or southern hemisphere. In other cases, migration occurs over a relatively short distance. For instance, a wall creeper, a small colorful bird that lives in the mountain ranges of Eurasia, merely moves to lower levels of the mountains in winter. Second, migration patterns depend on the nature of the staple food. Let's see the crossbill and the flycatcher. A crossbill is a finch that eats seeds out of conifer cones. So a crossbill's migration depends on the amount of seeds of conifer cones. If there are enough seeds left for a crossbill to eat during the winter, it will not migrate. On the other hand, a flycatcher, a large American bird that eats insects, must migrate each year because its food supply will always disappear in the winter. It is an interesting case that the same type of bird can be migratory or non-migratory depending on what climate it lives in. A blackbird, a European songbird with black or brown feathers and a bright yellow beak, is a good example of this. A blackbird that lives in Scandinavia, which has long and usually very cold winters, is migratory. However, a blackbird that lives in southern Europe, where the climate is mild in the winter, does not migrate. One last thing I'd like to mention is that not all birds migrate. A few species hibernate during the winter. For example, the common poorwill, grayish-brown birds with large eyes, living in California and New Mexico, is known to hibernate for weeks or months hidden among the rocks. Its body temperature drops and its breathing becomes slower to use up less energy.
Now get ready to answer the questions. You may use your notes to help you answer. 1. What is not mentioned in the lecture? 2. How does the teacher talk about bird migration? 3. Why does the teacher mention the wall creeper? 4. According to the lecture, what is true about the crossbill? 5. What does the teacher imply about the flycatcher? 6. According to the lecture, what is special about the common poorwill?
Questions 7 through 12.
Listen to a conversation in a music class.
Mr. Phillips, I was looking around a music store yesterday and I saw a strange-looking instrument. It looked like a set of glass bowls from the smallest to the largest, strung together on a rack. The owner said it was a glass harmonica and he played me a short tune. Its sound really got to me, beautiful and a bit mystical. Could you tell me more about glass harmonicas?
Well, a glass harmonica is a musical instrument that uses a series of bowls made of glass or crystal. Tones are made by rubbing a wet finger along the rims, which causes the bowls to vibrate. There is a simple way to see how glass harmonicas work. You can easily do this in your home. Take a few crystal wine glasses and pour a little water in each glass. Clean your finger thoroughly and moisten it with water. Move your finger smoothly around the entire rim of a glass. Pay attention to the pitch of the sound. After that, add some water to the glasses and repeat the process. You will probably notice that the pitch is lower. This is because the water in the glass causes the vibration frequency to decrease. The same thing happens if you increase the size of the wine glass.
That's why the bowls are different sizes.
Exactly. In the mid-1700s, playing music with a set of water-filled wine glasses was a popular form of entertainment. These were called singing glasses. Benjamin Franklin heard the musical tones from the glasses and became fascinated by them.
Benjamin Franklin, who invented the lightning rod?
Yes, the same person. He was known to play several instruments and compose his own music. Being a great inventor, he soon found a way to make the singing glasses into a musical instrument. In 1761, he created the first glass harmonica, or what he called the armonica, after the Italian word for harmony. 37 glass bowls were placed horizontally on an iron spindle. The whole spindle was turned quickly by a foot treadle. This meant that the glasses kept rotating while the musician's fingers stayed steady. The armonica allowed the musician to play up to 10 glasses at the same time, something that would have been impossible with singing glasses.
This is all so interesting. I'm going to go home and try that test you told me about.
Sounds like a great idea.
Now get ready to answer the questions. You may use your notes to help you answer. 7. What are the speakers mainly talking about? 8. How does the teacher explain the way of playing the glass harmonica? 9. What can be inferred about Benjamin Franklin? 10. Listen again to part of the conversation, then answer the question.
After that, add some water to the glasses and repeat the process. You will probably notice that the pitch is lower. This is because the water in the glass causes the vibration frequency to decrease. The same thing happens if you increase the size of the wine glass.
That's why the bowls are different sizes.
What does the student mean when she says this?
That's why the bowls are different sizes.
11. Indicate whether each statement below describes singing glasses or the armonica. Tick in the correct box. 12. What will the student probably do next?
'Questions 13 through 17.
Listen to a lecture in a technology class.
Today, I'd like to talk to you about a new technology called Bluetooth. Those of you who are familiar with this word are probably thinking of cell phones and wireless headsets. You are quite correct, for that is one of the earliest and most popular applications of this technology. Most modern homes are crowded with cables connecting different electronic devices. Take a look around your computer, for instance. Your monitor, keyboard, mouse, printer, and speakers are all connected by cables. Now, I'm sure most of you will agree that these cables are a big nuisance. Bluetooth chips were developed to solve this problem. A Bluetooth chip is a small radio chip that can be plugged into cell phones, computers, and other devices. Using a special frequency, 2 or more devices with Bluetooth chips can send and receive information normally carried by a cable. What does this mean? It means no more lines running here and there. Many wireless connections are now possible. You can use a wireless headset to answer a cell phone in your bag or pocket. And there are now wireless mouse products for your computer. Bluetooth was first developed by Ericsson, the famous Swedish telecommunications company. You may be wondering about the name Bluetooth. I found it a bit odd at first. Perhaps the chip is blue and shaped like a tooth. Bluetooth is named after Harald Bluetooth, a king who united and ruled over Denmark and Norway in the 10th century. As King Bluetooth united 2 fighting nations, Bluetooth technology unites different devices. It's easy to predict that we will see the wide use of Bluetooth technology in the near future. Since Bluetooth chips are small, cheap to manufacture, and run on low power, they could be placed in almost any device. As long as they stay in range, they maintain a fairly strong connection. Currently, Bluetooth chips are divided into 3 classes, each with a range of 100 meters, 10 meters, and 1 meter. Already, Bluetooth chips are being used for wireless networking among PCs. They are being placed in freight containers so that cargoes can easily be identified when they reach the storage area. And who knows, maybe soon a Bluetooth chip in your refrigerator may alert your computer what food needs to be bought, and your computer may instantly put in an order through the internet. The possibilities are limitless.
Now get ready to answer the questions. You may use your notes to help you answer. 13. What is the lecture mainly about? 14. According to the lecture, what is not true about Bluetooth? 15. Why does the teacher mention wireless mouse products? 16. What is the teacher's opinion of Bluetooth technology? 17. Listen again to part of the lecture, then answer the question.
I found it a bit odd at first. Perhaps the chip is blue and shaped like a tooth. Bluetooth is named after Harald Bluetooth, a king who united and ruled over Denmark and Norway in the 10th century.
Why does the teacher say this?
Perhaps the chip is blue and shaped like a tooth. Questions 18 through 22.
Listen to a conversation between 2 students.
Hey, Gina, where are you going?
To the library. My social studies group is meeting there in 15 minutes.
For the assignment on terrorism?
Yes,
How's it coming along?
pretty good. We finished all the basic research and we're now working on visual aids, photos, charts, graphs. I usually don't like working as a group, but this time is different. Everyone is being cooperative and pulling their weight. No free riders.
Free riders?
You know what I mean. Usually in group work, there is always someone who acts irresponsible, someone who tries to get by without doing any work while getting the same group grade as everyone else.
It's funny you should say that.
You've got one in your group?
You know Kevin? He is always late for group meetings. Not to mention the fact that most of the time, he hasn't properly done his part of the work. Everyone's been doing extra research to cover for him because no one wants to mess up the presentation and get a bad grade. You know this grade is very important not to fail the course.
That's what happens with free riders. I think he knows this too. You should tell him to pull his weight.
Actually, I did. Since I'm the group leader, everyone was coming to me to complain about him. What a guy he is, huh?
Why? What happened?
He had an excuse for every single time that he was late, and for every single time that he hadn't done his work properly. I got so fed up listening to him. I think I'd rather just do his work than try to talk to him again.
That's really not fair.
Well, I don't know what else to do. It's not like I can go to the teacher and saying so-and-so is slacking off. I really don't want to be that person.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. But maybe you could go to the teacher and make a general suggestion.
What do you mean?
Just tell her your problem, but don't mention any names. Suggest that we could have a class discussion about it. I'm sure some of the other groups are having the same problem. If you're uncomfortable about going alone, I'll go with you.
Okay, thanks.
Now get ready to answer the questions. You may use your notes to help you answer. 18. What are the speakers mainly talking about? 19. What is happening in the boys' group? 20. Why does the boy mention a bad grade? 21. Listen again to part of the conversation, then answer the question.
Since I'm the group leader, everyone was coming to me to complain about him. What a guy he is, huh?
Why does the boy say this?
What a guy he is, huh?
22. What will the boy probably do next?